The last time my kitchen felt alive. The air smelled of warm cornbread and my 5 kids were sprawled across our worn oak table, their voices clashing in a messy, beautiful riot. My youngest, Lila, with her stubborn giggle, swiped the last crumb from her brother's plate, sparking a chase around the room. That was 6 years ago. Before the silence crept in, I raised them alone, stitching together a life from late-night shifts and whispered prayers, believing love would be enough to keep us whole. But one by one, they slipped away chasing dreams, dodging pain, or maybe running from me. I still don't know why none of them came back. Last Christmas, I sat at that same table, now scarred and empty, staring at the chair where Lila used to sit, her absence heavier than the snow outside. The house was too quiet, the kind of quiet that screams. Did I push them too hard? Or not enough? The questions carve into me, each one a reminder of the family I lost. I gave them everything, every scraped together dollar, every sleepless night, every piece of my heart. Yet here I am, a mother with no one to hold, haunted by a single moment I can't shake. The night my eldest left, leaving a folded note on the counter I still haven't dared to read. Each of their departures carries a story I've kept locked inside, stories of regret, anger, and a love so fierce it hurts. Over the next 10 chapters, I'll unravel them, piece by painful piece, starting with that note and the secret it holds. If you've ever felt the ache of an empty home or the weight of unanswered questions, walk this road with me. Like this video, share your thoughts below, and subscribe to join me as I search for the truth and maybe, just maybe, a way to heal the kitchen smells of burnt cornbread. A ghost of that last night with Jacob, 6 years ago, when the air was thick with tension and unsaid words. His note sits on the counter, folded so sharp it could cut. A silent challenge I've dodged for too long. I see him still, my eldest, 17, his duffel bag slung over one shoulder, his jaw clenched like he was biting back a storm. His eyes, dark and unreadable, slid past mine, as if I were already a stranger. I stood frozen, the linoleum cold, under my bare feet, wanting to scream, to grab his arm, to beg him to stay. But my voice was buried under a landslide of mistakes, missed birthdays when I worked double shifts, sharp words snapped over spilled milk, promises of better days I couldn't keep. The weight of those failures choked me, left me mute as the front door clicked shut, stealing my firstborn into the night. The other kids, Lila, Ethan, Sarah, Sophie, slept upstairs, their soft breaths oblivious to the fracture splitting our family. I clutched the note, its edges biting my palm, and told myself I'd read it tomorrow. When the hurt wasn't so raw, tomorrow became a week, then years. The note hidden in a drawer like a secret I wasn't brave enough to face. I'd pass it daily, the drawer's chipped handle a quiet accusation, but I kept moving, cooking, cleaning, surviving, pretending I could outrun the truth. Tonight, though, something shifts. Maybe it's the silence of this empty house, or the way the snow outside mirrors the cold inside me. I pour a glass of cheap Merlot, the bottle's label peeling like my resolve, and sit at the scarred oak table where we once laughed over cornbread. My hands shake as I touch the note, its paper softened by time, but still heavy with the weight of Jacob's anger. What did he write in those final moments? Was it a goodbye, a confession, or an accusation? I've spent 6 years imagining the worst, that he blamed me for everything, that I failed him in ways I can't even name. The wine burns my throat, but it doesn't steady my nerves. This table, with its dents from Lila's toy cars and Ethan's nervous drumming, holds every memory of the life I built for them. I raised 5 kids alone, stitching together a life. From late-night diner shifts and whispered prayers, believing love could glue us together. But one by one, they slipped away, and I don't know why. The note is my starting point, the first thread in unraveling why my children left. Jacob was always the quiet one, his thoughts locked behind those intense eyes. But he was my anchor, the one who would hug me after a long day. Losing him was like losing a limb, and the others followed, each departure carving a new wound. I traced the note's edges, my heart pounding. What if it confirms I'm the reason they're gone? The kitchen clock ticks, loud in the stillness, urging me forward. I take a breath, the air sharp with the ghost of cornbread, and decide. Tonight, I'll face Jacob's words. This is where it begins, where I start chasing the truth about my kids and about the mother I failed to be. The attic smells of dust and forgotten things, but I'm here for Jacob's sketchbook, buried under a pile of his old clothes. I found it this morning, tucked beneath his bed, its leather cover cracked like the life we used to have. At 16, Jacob was all angles lanky, quiet, hunched over this sketchbook, drawing jagged cities and shadowed figures I could never decode. His eyes held a fire, a spark of something wild I couldn't reach. No matter how hard I tried, I'd watch him, pencil flying, lost in worlds where I didn't exist, and I'd feel a pang of envy for the places he escaped to. Now, flipping through the pages, I see his dreams dark, intricate, alive until I hit a sketch that stops my heart. Our family, sprawled around this very table, laughing, but my face is scratched out, a violent scribble of black ink. The image hits like a fist. Did he hate me even then? I sink to the floor, the sketchbook heavy in my lap, and remember the first crack in us. I'd lost my second job, the diner cutting hours, and the bills piled up like a wall between us. Jacob left dishes in the sink, and I snapped, my voice sharp as a whip. Can't you do anything right? His pencil stopped moving after that, his silence louder than any apology. I stammered. I thought we'd recover, that love could patch the holes, but that moment lingered, a wound I didn't see festering. The sketch feels like proof, a map of his resentment, drawn long before he left. I clutched the sketchbook, my fingers tracing the scratched-out space where my face should be. Jacob's note, still unopened in the kitchen, feels heavier now, a twin to this image. Could it explain this anger, this erasure? I need to know. But the thought of those words sharp, final terrifies me. I drag myself downstairs, past the kids' empty rooms, and pause at the high school on my evening drive. The lot is deserted, the bleachers rusted, but I see Jacob there, 16, sketching under the floodlights, his world already pulling him away from mine. I tried so hard to hold us together, working nights, cooking dinners, but every choice felt like a misstep. The note waits on the kitchen counter, its edges worn from my nervous touches. I can't open it yet, not when this sketch has already cracked me open. I pour another glass of wine, the glass cold against my palm, and sit at the table. Its scars a reminder of better days, Lila's giggles, Ethan's shy smiles. Jacob was my firstborn, my anchor, but I lost him somewhere between my exhaustion and his silence. The sketchbook lies open beside me, that awful drawing staring up, accusing. What did I do to make him erase me? The question burns, and I know the answer might be in that note, waiting like a bomb. I drive back home, the high school fading in my rear view, each mile a step toward the truth I'm not sure I can face. This house, This table, this sketch, they're all pieces of a puzzle I'm only beginning to see. Jacob's departure wasn't sudden. It was a slow unraveling, and I'm terrified to learn how much of it was my fault. Lila's giggle used to dance through our house, a bright, stubborn sound that could melt the hardest days. At 12, she was my youngest, my light, with curls that bounced and eyes that saw too much. But after Jacob left, her questions came, like shards of glass. Why didn't you stop him, Mom? Her voice, once soft, turned sharp, accusing, and I had no answers. I'd deflect, my throat tight with guilt, saying, "He'll be back, sweetheart." But each lie pushed her further away. Her giggle faded, like a song I'd forgotten the words to, and I watched my baby drift into a silence that mirrored Jacob's. I'd catch her staring out the window, her small hands clenched, and I'd wonder what she was holding back. Last night, I rummaged through her old room, the air heavy with dust and absence. Under a pile of faded stuffed animals, I found her diary, its pink cover scuffed, a secret she'd kept from me. The first page stopped me cold. Jacob left because of Mom's lie. My chest tightened, the words blurring through tears. What lie? What did Lila know that I didn't? I sank onto her bed, the springs creaking under my weight, and remembered a night 3 years ago. I'd found her in Jacob's room, clutching his denim jacket, tears streaming down her face. "You let him go," she whispered, her voice so raw it cut through me. I stood there, defenseless, my apologies useless against her pain. The diary's pages tremble in my hands now, each childish scrawl a step closer to a truth I'm not sure I can bear. She wrote about Jacob's last night, how he hugged her tight, whispering something she swore to keep secret. My heart races. What was it? Did he tell her why he left? Or was it about me, something I hid even from myself? The kitchen table, scarred from years of our chaos, sits silent as I read, the wine glass untouched beside me. Lila was my anchor after Jacob, her laughter a reminder I could still do something right. But I lost her, too, her silence a mirror of my failures. I flipped through the diary, each entry a stab, her words about missing Jacob, about me not listening. I want to scream that I tried, that I worked myself raw to keep us afloat. But the truth chokes me. I wasn't enough. The note from Jacob, still unopened, looms in the drawer, its weight tying Lila's words to his. What if they both knew something I've buried? The house is too quiet, the kind of quiet that screams, and I feel Lila's absence like a physical ache. I close the diary, my fingers lingering on her name, and wonder if I'll ever hear her giggle again. This is my unraveling, piece by painful piece. If you've ever felt the sting of failing someone you love, the guilt that clings like damp air, share it with me. Have you ever lost someone and wondered if you could have done more to keep them close? Tell me in the comments below. I'm chasing the truth about my kids, starting with Lila's secret, and I'm terrified of what I'll find. But I can't stop now, not when her words are pulling me toward the mother I failed to be. Ethan's shy smile used to light up our kitchen, a quiet warmth that held us together when everything else frayed. My middle child, at 15, was the peacemaker, smoothing over fights with a soft, "It's okay, Mom." But after Jacob left, that smile dimmed, his eyes growing distant, like he was slipping into a place I couldn't follow. I'd catch him staring at the empty chair where Jacob used to sit, his fingers tapping nervously on the table. I thought it was grief, but it was something deeper, something I missed. Now, in the dim light of my living room, I clutch a faded photo of him, his smile barely there, and find a crumpled note tucked inside the frame. "I'm sorry, Mom." My heart lurches. What was he sorry for? I remember a night 2 years after. Jacob left, Ethan stumbling in late, reeking of cigarette smoke, his jacket damp from rain. "Where were you?" I shouted, fear twisting into anger. But his eyes dodged mine, his silence a wall I couldn't breach. I wanted to pull him close, to ask what was wrong. But my voice was sharp, my patience worn thin from bills and exhaustion. He walked away, up to his room, and I let him go, thinking we'd talk tomorrow. Tomorrow stretched into weeks. Then he was gone at 19, a backpack over his shoulder, promising, "I'll call." The phone never rang, and his absence carved a new hole in me. The photo trembles in my hands, Ethan's face blurred by my tears. I raised him alone, like the others, scraping by on diner tips and stubborn hope. But every choice felt like a misstep. Was I too hard on him, snapping when he needed softness? The note from Jacob, still unopened in the kitchen, feels heavier now, a possible key to Ethan's silence. Did he know what Jacob knew? I paced the house, the floorboards creaking under my weight, and stop at Ethan's old room. It's untouched, a shrine to a boy who stopped smiling. I dig through his desk, finding nothing but old homework and a single guitar pick, a relic of the music he loved before he shut down. The weight of Jacob's note pulls me back to the kitchen. I touch its worn edges, my fingers shaking. What if it holds a clue to why Ethan left, too? I see him in my mind, 16, playing his guitar softly while Lila danced, his smile faint but real. I failed to protect that light, didn't I? The house is quiet, the kind of quiet that presses against your chest. And I wonder what I missed in Ethan, his pain, his secrets, his note. "I'm sorry," burns in my mind. Was he apologizing for leaving, or for something else? I sit at the table, the scars under my fingers a map of our life together. Ethan was my glue, but I let him slip away. The truth about why my kids left is out there, and Jacob's note might be the first step. If you've ever lost someone to silence, to a distance you couldn't bridge, I need to know I'm not alone. Share your story below, and stay with me as I chase the pieces of my family, starting with Ethan's fading light. Sarah and Sophie, my twins, were a universe of two. Their whispered secrets a language I could never crack. At 20, they left together, their departure a double wound that still bleeds. I see them now, in the flicker of memory, their identical faces lit by the kitchen's dim bulb. Sarah's fiery eyes clashing with Sophie's cool stare. Our last fight plays on a loop, Sarah shouting, "You never hear us, Mom," while Sophie's silence cut deeper than any words. I stood there, hands trembling, wanting to fix it, but I didn't know what they needed from me. I'd raised them alone, pouring every dime and tear into keeping us whole. But that night, I saw the truth. They'd already planned their escape in their old room, the air stale with absence. I find a showbox hidden under a loose floorboard. Inside are letters they wrote to each other, pages of tight script never meant for me. One, dated 6 months before they left, stops my breath. "We'll go when we're ready. She doesn't know about Dad." My heart stumbles. Dad. What did they know about my husband? Gone before they were teens. I'd told them he was a good man, a hero, to shield them from his failures. Did they uncover the lie I buried? The letters hint at a pact, a plan to leave me behind, and the betrayal stings like a fresh cut. I sink onto Sarah's bed, the mattress sagging under my weight, and clutch the letters. The twins were my mirror images, Sarah's passion, Sophie's quiet resolve, but I never truly saw them. I remember their 16th birthday, blowing out candles together, their laughter a rare harmony. I thought we were okay then, but the letters tell a different story. They'd been planning for years, whispering about a life without me. Jacob's note, still unopened in the kitchen, feels like a ticking bomb now. Did they all know something about their father, something I hid to protect them? The house is silent, the kind of quiet that presses against your skin. I trace the letter's words, my fingers shaking. Sarah's anger, Sophie's distance. Were they running from my lie? I see them packing that last night, their bags light, their faces closed off. I begged them to stay, but Sarah's "we can't" was final. Sophie's "not a seal." I failed them, didn't I? The truth about their father, about me, is a shadow I can't outrun. Jacob's note might hold the key, but I'm terrified of what it'll unlock. I sit at the kitchen table, the letters spread before me, the scars under my fingers a reminder of the family I lost. The twins' pact was a secret I never saw coming, and it breaks me all over again. If you've ever discovered a truth that changed everything you thought you knew, I need to hear it. What would you do if a secret from your past threatened to destroy your family? Share below, and stay with me as I unravel the lies that pushed my twins away. I'm chasing the truth, piece by piece, and I'm not sure I'm ready for what's next, but I can't stop now. The kitchen floor gleams under my rag, but no amount of scrubbing can erase the pull of that drawer, where Jacob's note hides like a heartbeat I can't ignore. I've avoided it for days, filling the silence with busy work, polishing counters, folding laundry, anything to keep the truth at bay. But it's there, always, a magnet drawing my eyes to the chipped handle. The house is too quiet, the kind that presses against your chest, and I'm running out of ways to pretend I'm not afraid. Tonight, I pour a glass of wine, the glass cold in my hand, and sit at the scarred table. The notes weight heavier than ever. What if it confirms I'm the reason they all left? I pick up the phone, my fingers trembling, and call Mary, my old friend from the diner days. Did Jacob ever say why he left? I ask, my voice thin. She hesitates, her breath catching. He mentioned something about your husband, she says, soft, like she's afraid to break me. Something about a lie. My heart lurches. My husband, gone 10 years. His memory a shield I built for the kids. What did Jacob know? Mary's words sting, and I hang up, anger flaring. Was I too harsh, too broken to be the mother they needed? The question burns, a fire I can't put out. Lila's diary lies open beside me, its pages a map of my failures. I read further, each word a knife. She wrote about a fight, one I barely remember, where Jacob shouted, "You lied to us, Mom." It was about their father, wasn't it? I see it now. Jacob, 17, his face red, his voice cracking as he stormed out. I thought it was teenage rebellion, but it was more, something deeper. Lila's words make it real. That fight was a turning point, a crack that split us apart. I was too tired, too stretched, to see it then, working nights to keep us fed. But I see it now, and it guts me. The note sits in the drawer, its edges worn from my nervous touches. I pull it out, my hands shaking, and start to unfold it, but fear stops me cold. What if Jacob's words prove I drove them away? The kitchen clock ticks, loud in the stillness, and I see Lila's face, her giggle gone, Ethan's fading smile. The twins closed off stares. I raised them alone, pouring every ounce of myself into them. But it wasn't enough. The lie about their father, what was it? Did I hide too much, or not enough? The drawer's pull is relentless, a tide I can't fight. I clutch the note, my breath shallow, and sit at the table. Its scars a testament to the life we lost. Mary's words. Lila's diary. Jacob's note. They're pieces of a puzzle I'm terrified to solve. If you've ever avoided a truth because it might break you, I need to know I'm not alone. Share your story below and stay with me as I face the lie that tore my family apart. I'm one step from the truth, and it's pulling me under. But I can't turn back now, not when my kids are out there, waiting for me to understand. I unfold Jacob's note at the kitchen table, the paper trembling in my hands, his angry scrawl slicing through the silence. You never saw me, Mom, he wrote, each word a blade. I left to survive your lies. The air leaves my lungs, and I'm back to that night 6 years ago. His duffel bag heavy on his shoulder, his eyes dark with something I couldn't name. He mentioned a secret about their father, something he swore to shield the others from, and my stomach twists. What did I hide that cut him so deep? I've spent years telling myself I protected them, but Jacob's words say I failed, that my silence pushed him out the door. I reread the note, tears blurring the ink, and see him at 17, his sketchbook a shield against my chaos. I was always rushing diner shifts, bills, arguments, never stopping to see the fire in his eyes flicker out. The note feels like a verdict, proof I wasn't enough. I drive to the diner where he worked, the neon sign flickering like my hope. The owner, a gruff man with tired eyes, remembers Jacob. Good kid, he says, wiping a counter. Talked about moving west, starting over. Never mentioned you. His words sting, but they're a clue, a thread to follow. I sit in my car, the note crumpled in my fist, the rain streaking the windshield like my tears. Did they all feel invisible, like Jacob did? I think of Lila's diary, her words about that fight. Ethan's fading smile, the twins' whispered pact. Was it all tied to their father? To the story I told to protect them? I said he was a hero, gone too soon. But the truth was messier, his failures, his shame. Things I buried to spare them pain. Did Jacob uncover it? And did it break us? The note doesn't say, but its weight is crushing. The diner's lights fade in my rearview as I drive home, the road blurring. I see Jacob at 16, sketching at this table, his silence a warning I ignored. I was so tired, juggling 5 kids, a job, a life that never fit right. I thought love was enough, but Jacob's words say it wasn't. I clutched the note, my hands shaking, and vow to find him, to ask what he meant, to beg for a chance to make it right. The truth is out there, in Denver, in a cabin, in my kids' hearts, and I'll chase it, no matter how much it hurts. The kitchen is dark when I return, the table's scars cold under my fingers. Jacob's note lies open, its words a mirror to my failures. I'm not ready for what's next, but I can't stop now. If you've ever faced a truth that broke your heart, I need to hear it. Share your story below and stay with me as I search for Jacob, for the lie that sent him away. I'm unraveling my family's story, piece by painful piece, and I'm terrified of what I'll find, but I owe it to my kids to keep going, to face the words that cut me deepest. The Denver apartment building looms, its cracked facade a match for my fractured heart. I tracked Jacob here, his last known address, and now I stand at his door, my knock echoing in the dim hallway. My pulse races, expecting his face, but a stranger answers, a tired woman who says he left years ago. My hope crumbles, but she lets me inside, and I find a sketch taped to the wall. Our family, laughing around the kitchen table, but I'm erased, a smudge where my face should be. The pain is a knife to my chest, sharp and cold, and I sink to the floor, clutching the drawing. Did Jacob hate me so much he wiped me from his world? I see him at 17, his sketchbook a refuge, his silence a wall I couldn't climb. I was too busy diner shifts, bills, the endless grind of raising 5 kids alone to notice how far he'd drifted. The sketch feels like a confession, a truth he couldn't say aloud. I tuck it into my bag, next to his note, and call Athens. Old number, my voice breaking in the voicemail. I need to know you're okay, Ethan. Please. The silence mocks me, a void that swallows my plea. I'm chasing ghosts, but I can't stop. Not when every clue cuts deeper. Lila's diary mentioned a cabin the twins loved, a place they planned their escape. I decide to go there, desperate for answers, for any piece of my kids. The drive from Denver is long, the mountains looming like my guilt. I replay Jacob's note. You never saw me, and wonder if Ethan felt the same. I see him at 16, his shy smile fading after Jacob left, his guitar silent. I snapped at him once, tired and stretched thin, and watched his light dim. Was that the moment I lost him, too? The sketch burns in my bag, a twin to the one I found in his room, both erasing me. What did I do to make them all turn away? The lie about their father, the one Jacob hinted at, gnaws at me. I told them he was a hero, hiding his failures to protect them. But did that lie push them out the door? The cabin might hold answers, or it might break me further. I grip the steering wheel, the road blurring through tears, and feel the weight of every choice I made, every moment I failed to see my kids. Back home, the kitchen table waits. It scars a map of our lost years. The sketch and note sit side by side, pieces of a puzzle I'm terrified to solve. If you've ever chased someone you loved, only to find they're already gone, I need your story. Share it below, and stay with me as I hunt for my kids, for the truth about the lie that broke us. I'm heading to the cabin next, chasing shadows, and I'm scared of what I'll find, but I owe it to Jacob, to Ethan, to all of them, to keep going. Even if it means facing the mother I failed to be. The cabin's windows are dark, the air inside sharp with pine and memory. I step over the creaking threshold, and there, on a dusty table, is Sophie's bracelet, its blue beads glinting like a piece of her soul. I collapse to my knees, clutching it, the sobs tearing through me. My twins, Sarah and Sophie, were here once, planning their escape, and this bracelet is all that's left. I see them at 18, their heads bent together, whispering secrets I could never crack. I thought I knew them, but their absence screams the truth. I didn't. The bracelet burns in my hand, a relic of the girls I lost. A neighbor, an old man with weathered hands, recognizes me from a photo the twins showed him. Years ago, they were here, he says, his voice soft, talking about starting over, mentioning a guy Tom, your husband's friend. My heart stumbles, Tom. I haven't thought of him in years, a shadow from my husband's past I kept buried. I drive to his house, the bracelet tight in my fist, and confront him. His face pales as I demand answers. Your husband wasn't the hero you said, he admits, eyes down. He had debts, secrets. Jacob found out, wanted to protect the others. The revelation shatters me, a crack through everything I believed. I told my kids their father was a good man, gone too soon, to shield them from his failures, his gambling, his shame, the way he left us before he died. But Jacob knew, and so did the twins, didn't they? My lie, meant to protect, poisoned their trust. I see Sarah's anger, Sophie's cold stare. They're packed to leave me behind, I was so busy surviving diner shifts, bills, 5 kids to raise that I didn't see the truth eating away at them. The bracelet slips through my fingers, and I'm back in the cabin, alone with my guilt. Tom's words echo. Jacob protected the others from my lie. Did it drive them all away? I think of Lila's diary, Ethan's silence, the sketches erasing me. Every choice I made, every story I told, built a wall between us. I sit on the cabin floor, the bracelet in my lap, and wonder if I'll ever see my twins again. Their laughter a memory I can't hold. The truth about their father was my burden, but they carried it, too, and it broke us. I'm closer to understanding, but each answer is a wound I can't close. The drive home is a blur. The bracelet and Jacob's note heavy in my bag. The kitchen table waits. Its scars a testament to the family I failed. If you've ever uncovered a truth that changed everything, I need to hear it. Share your story below, and stay with me as I face the lie that tore my family apart. I'm one step from the end of this journey, and I'm terrified of what's left, but I owe it to Sophie, to Sarah, to all my kids, to keep going, to find the truth and maybe, just maybe, a way to heal. The kitchen table is a graveyard of my failures. Jacob's note, Sophie's bracelet, Ethan's photo, Lila's diary spread before me like evidence. The truth sits heavy. My lie about their father broke us. I told them he was a hero, a good man taken too soon. But he was a mess, gambling debts, shame, a past I buried to protect them. Jacob found out, carried that secret to shield his siblings, but it pushed them all away. I sit here, the tables, scars under my fingers, and see every moment I failed them. Missed dinners, snapped words, love that wasn't enough. The house is silent, but the truth screams. My lie cost me my kids. I pick up a pen, the paper trembling in my hands, and write letters to each of them. To Jacob, I'm sorry I didn't see you. To Lila, I miss your giggle every day. To Ethan, Sarah, Sophie, I hid the truth to protect you, but I lost you instead. I pour out my heart, confessing my pride, my fear, the way I clung to a false story about their father to keep us whole. The words flow, raw and jagged, each one a plea for forgiveness I don't deserve. I seal the envelopes, my tears smudging the ink, knowing they may never read them. But it's all I have left. The mailbox outside feels like a confessional as I drop the letters in, each one a prayer into the void. I see them in my mind. Jacob's sketches, Lila's curls, Ethan's shy smile, the twins' whispered secrets. I raised them alone, stitching a life from diner tips and stubborn hope. But my lie unraveled it all. The kitchen is dark, the air heavy with the ghost of cornbread and laughter. I clutch Sophie's bracelet, its beads warm in my hand, and feel a flicker of something new. Hope, fragile but real. Maybe one day, I'll hear Lila's giggle, see Jacob's eyes, feel Ethan's hug. The truth has broken me, but it's also set me free. I'm not the mother I wanted to be, but I'm still their mother, and I'll keep fighting for them. The house is quiet, but that flicker of hope burns. A light in the wreckage. I'll wait for them, for a letter back, for a knock at the door. This is my reckoning, a mother's heart laid bare through guilt and love. If you've ever fought to mend a broken bond, to face a truth that hurt, I need your story. Share it below, like this video, and subscribe to walk with me. I'm not done searching for my kids, for the forgiveness I need to give myself. This table, these scars, these pieces of them, they're my map forward. If you've ever loved someone enough to let them go, or fought to bring them back, join me. Click that like button, comment your heart out, and subscribe to my channel. I'm chasing my kids, piece by painful piece, and I'm hoping, praying that one day, this kitchen will be alive again with their laughter, their voices, their love. Stay with me, because I can't do this alone.